Next is a presentation of proclamation for Extra Mile Day.
Correct. Council, you may recall that for the last several years, we have joined a national foundation, the Extra Mile Day Foundation, that recognizes local heroes, people who go above and beyond in the community to enhance life in the city of Southfield. So at this point, I'd like to call up, we have 4 honorees this year. I'd like to call up Gwendolyn Guthrie, Sherry Lavin, Karen Schrock, and Mitchell Simon. They'd come up. So I'll quickly read the resolution, and then I'm going to talk about our 4 honorees briefly. So this is a proclamation. We don't have a meeting on November 1st. November 1st is Extra Mile Day in the United States. Whereas Southfield is a community that appreciates when its citizens go the extra mile in personal effort, service, and volunteerism, and whereas through various efforts to support the community, such as the Big Rake, Friends of Southfield Public Arts, the annual Martin Luther King Peace Walk celebration, or serving on an advisory or neighborhood association board, Southfield is a community that chooses to shine the light on those individuals that give of themselves with a total effort to go the extra mile. And whereas Southfield salutes Extra Mile honoree Gwendolyn Guthrie for her dedicated service to her neighborhood and beautifying her home and many others in the Southfield Garden subdivision by sharing, transplanting her perennials and other plants for the beautification of the area. And whereas Southfield salutes Extra Mile honoree Sherry Lavin of Lavin's Flowerland for her participation in Southfield's annual Flower Day, for re-landscaping the old fire hall on 9 Mile and donating planting labor to the restored library fountain. And whereas Southfield salutes Extra Mile honoree Karen Schrock for her involvement in the Green Dolphin Neighborhood Association, Southfield High School, Levy Middle School PTSA, longstanding service to Southfield's Commission on Senior Adults, working to improve the lives and conditions of Southfield senior adults and families. And whereas Southfield salutes Extra Mile Day honoree Mitchell Simon for his outstanding accounting service as treasurer for the Southfield Nonprofit Housing Corporation and serving as a member of the Commission on Senior Adults since 1988. And whereas the 2019 Extra Mile honorees demonstrate that one person can make a difference to bring about positive change and improve the quality of life in their community at large. I now therefore resolve that I, Kenson Cyber, Mayor, City of Southfield County, of Oakland, State of Michigan, do hereby proclaim November 1st as Extra Mile Day in the City of Southfield. And I want to congratulate and say a little bit more about each of our honorees this evening. I'll start with Mitchell Simon. If you come up, I want to present you with this Extra Mile certificate. Mitchell is a longtime resident of the City of Southfield and has served on COSA since 1988. He's a retired accountant, and for the past 5 years, he's served as treasurer of the Southfield Nonprofit Housing Corporation and as a board member of the Southfield Neighborhood Revitalization Initiative. In this role, he's taken on the Herculean task of cash accounting for the myriad of home restorations and reviewing the monthly financial statements for McDonald Towers, River Park Place, and Woodridge Senior Apartments. So Mitchell, we congratulate you and thank you for your extra mile.
Thank you.
Next, Gwendolyn Guthrie. I have gone by Mrs. Guthrie's house for years and said, whoever lives here is doing a phenomenal job of a curb appeal. Her house looks lovely, and there's always something blooming. She knows perennials. And so I knocked on her door last spring, and she said, "Oh, I'm not worthy. I mean, this is she's really uncomfortable being here, but I made her come. And actually, she flew in from Florida, so I had to strong-arm her son to get her here. But anyhow, so then I find out, because she was part of the 2019 Garden Walk, that when you look up and down Jeanette Street, the 18700 block, there is Smith Guthrie's magic. She has, first of all, she's that rare neighbor that talks to all her neighbors. She knows everybody on the block, and some people don't do that. But she has shared her wealth and her knowledge in gardening, and that 18700 block of Jeanette is all the more beautiful because of Mrs. Guthrie. So you have gone the extra mile, and want you to know how you are appreciated. And next we'll talk about Sherry Lavin. Lavin's Flower Land 10 years ago was taken over by Sherry Lavin on 9 Mile. It was a failed nursery, as some of you will, or failing nursery, as some of you will remember. And she turned it into a highly successful small business. Besides selling plants, annuals, and bushes, shrub, trees, perennials, all of those things. She goes above and beyond as she counsels her customers on what to plant to combat our voracious deer, deer-resistant plants, gardening advice on soils and all of that. And she maintains a website as well where residents can go and get advice. The other thing that she has done, actually multiple things, she's participated in Southfield Flower Day for years. She also, where she gives 10% discount for purchases made on Flower Day. She also did for free, donated all the landscaping. It was very sad looking, the old fire hall on 9 Mile. And for the completion of the restored library fountain, Sherry did all of the planting there, her labor. She had a whole crew out here and only charged us her cost for the plants. So we greatly appreciated that. And if that's not enough, she's a volunteer and makes contributions to the Lutheran Social Services, helping orphaned children, and has done fundraisers for them, including a haunted house. So, Sherry, we greatly appreciate your contributions to the city of Southfield, and thank you again for all that you do.
Pleasure.
I think the council wanted to meet all of these folks, right? So they've disappeared on me. Come on back up. You've got to shake the council's hands here. And Karen Schrock. I've known Karen for ages, as she was an active mom in the Southfield Public Schools all the way through K-12 with Eisenhower Levy, Southfield High School, and has been active in Green Dolphin neighborhood. Since 2004, as you're all aware, she's been a member of the Southfield Commission on Senior Adults and is serving as chairperson for the last few years, has taken this body to new heights. And it's quite extraordinary. Mrs. Schrock has left an indelible mark on COSA, and she has engaged the commission in seeking an AARP age-friendly community designation for the city of Southfield. And it's how she's done it. Mrs. Schrock's leadership style promotes teamwork, and she delegates so that everything isn't coming from the chair. She has a very, very active commission. And when you have that kind of involvement, the results are all the better. And the result is the COSA action plan for age-friendly community designation that was presented, I think in September. So Karen, congratulations, and thank you. And if you'd all please come up and...
Would you all, please, yes, please come forward, come around. Yeah, that'll be good.
On three, ladies and gentlemen. One, two, three. On three. One, two,